Welcome here to more TALKFCB and welcome to more reaction following that disappointing game. Barça, Valencia, more drop points for us. And I wanted to make this video basically because number one, we're all feeling right now very, very frustrated and it's not nice when that happens. So at the end of the day, let's just come here, lay it all out, discuss it all and just go through what happened. But number two, I think what Koeman has come out after this again, poor performance from us, especially in the last period of the game, what he's said to the media, I can't get my head around it, and I had to discuss it with you guys. We're also going to be talking about a simple look that was exchanged between Riqui Puig and Miralem Pjanic on the bench, which I think says it all. It's all coming up, so let's just get to it. Come on. Because after the game, of course, Ronald Koeman was facing the media there and he was asked very much so what he thought of the performance, what he thought of the result and what went wrong against Valencia, especially as that second half went on. And the first thing that he came back and said, he said, I don't think we've taken a step back in terms of attitude, but more in terms of our level. He said there were irregularities during our play in the game. We lost control, we lost balls in defence, and I saw a team with doubts. He said, but with the age of many of our players, that can be influenced by not having experience, and in time, the younger players especially, they have to mature. And there's two things really that I want to highlight about that opening statement there from Koeman. Number one, he says there that he sees a team that has doubts. And I would say, yeah, probably the team did have doubts, especially there, as we said in the match review, in that final 20-minute period, there were so many doubts because nobody knew what they were doing. And do you know where those doubts come from? They come from the sidelines. If your coach is not clear and concise in his plan, if he doesn't convey his ideas very clearly to his set of players, there will be doubts and there will clearly be a lack of unity out there on the field. And that's what we saw in our system and our shape towards the end of the game. But the second thing there, to actually blame what it seems like there, Koeman is blaming the younger players there for not having the experience and not quite playing at the right level. I just think that's very, very low. For a coach to come out after the game and point the finger at the younger players and a lack of experience, why doesn't he come out there and actually take some blame on himself? That's one thing that so far, Koeman's time at Barça, we've had many, many poor results, and I don't think once he's truly stood up and said, you know what, I got it wrong. I made a mistake. I hold my hands up. I will take that responsibility. And again here, shifting that blame onto younger players, when for me, that wasn't the problem. Yeah, I don't like that. It doesn't get any better either, though, because then Koeman was asked in a bit more detail about why he subbed on Clement Lenglet for Felipe Coutinho, and just to explain this, some of those second-half changes when it comes to bringing on the defender, when we definitely needed a goal. He said we didn't actually miss many clear chances today. He said in the first half we didn't have that many chances to miss, and although we know that we're a team who wants to attack, he said there are certain moments when we have to defend and control more. He said that's why I felt we needed to end the game with three centre-backs to be more solid defensively. He said because you can see the risk there of playing with a lot of space in behind at the back, playing one-on-one against Valencia's forwards. And honestly, I do not understand that statement. I do not understand what he's trying to say there and what point of view he has on the situation. Because number one, if you wanted to close down that space, if you wanted to be a bit more defensively solid, you can start with three centre-backs. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. I even suggested it a few videos ago when talking there about having natural width, having Alba and Des pushing on and playing with three centre-backs. That would have been fine. But start that way. You don't sub on a centre-back there when you're chasing a goal in the final 20 minutes. That has never happened as a Barcelona coach doing that. What on earth would you be thinking? And I'd also say, Koeman here is talking about being more defensively solid. Well, you weren't really thinking about that though when you're playing Pedri in a deeper midfield role. He played Pedri in that role so that somehow he could find a way to squeeze Coutinho into this team. We all know that Pedri should be playing, and he should be playing in that 10 role. But no, in order to somehow get Coutinho in the team, he sacrificed Pedri, he played him as a more defensive-minded player, and when you're talking about being open defensively, what use is that going to do when you've got a player like Pedri playing out of position? But again, you need strength to pick your best team, and not just pick a team where you cram it in all those number 10s. Koeman was also asked about why Frenkie de Jong did not start the game but did come on in the second half. Ronald Koeman said Frenkie had some discomfort in training yesterday and the doctors felt that it was a risk that he played the game from the start, so that was why he was a sub. He said, but after the break we put Frenkie in for Busquets. He said not because Busi played badly, but we just had to change something. And again, that's always strange to me too, when actually there you're being advised by the doctors not to start somebody because of discomfort, because of a problem, but then you bring them on anyway. You just think, well, if you were going to bring him on, if he's okay to play in an intense second half when we're chasing the game, he probably would have been fine to start. But I do have to say, Frenkie de Jong coming off the bench, if there was a bright spark, if there was somebody there to look at and say, you know what, well done, you did really well, Frenkie de Jong is your man once again today. I thought he was outstanding when he came on. He was gliding through Valencia. He really does penetrate teams well. He's not just good on the ball, but he is so athletic. He's so quick on the ball. He's got elegance, and I've been so impressed with him. These past 3 games, he has upped his level, and he's looking much more like the Frenkie de Jong that we know and we love. So big well done there for Frenkie's performance. Even if he had some discomfort, he still played so well. And of course, even despite the fact that we did drop points on the day, it doesn't take anything away from Lionel Messi, who has again reached a milestone, reached a record that before would have seemed unthinkable, because Messi today, with his goal against Valencia, has equalled Pele as the all-time top goal scorer for one single club. Pele scored a remarkable 643 goals for Brazilian club Santos. Messi now has done the same for Barça, and of course we'll expect him, very much so, to go and beat that record outright, and hopefully it'll happen in the next game. We could do with that. Koeman was also asked, though, finally, whether he felt this result truly was the nail in the coffin as far as the La Liga title goes. Is that the chances of winning the league over? Koeman, though, he doesn't think so. He said, we want to win every game. He said the problem is not today's game. The problem is that we've already lost 4 or 5 games in La Liga. He said the draw here makes it more difficult, but it's not lost yet. There are many games to go. He said we are a few points away, but it's a difficult season for all of the teams. In 2 months, the situation, it could be totally different. The schedule is tight, there's a long way to go, and we have to fight to reduce the points gap. And I'm just sort of thinking out loud here, guys. Maybe it's just me, being frustrated after a disappointing end to the game, and a game that I feel we've thrown away 2 points. We should have been winning this game. We could have gone on and scored a 3rd goal there in those final 20 minutes with a bit more care about our play. But when, for me, do we start actually looking towards that title? Of course, at the start of the season, we want to be challenging for the title. That's what we always want to actually aim for and achieve. But you know what? When are we actually going to look at that table and think, you know what? We need to start focusing now on just qualifying for the Champions League. We need to make sure that we're in that top 4, because as the season goes on, if we continue dropping more points and more points and more points, we can't lose sight here of what we're fighting for. Yes, aim for the top, but let's make sure here, let's go about our job and make sure that we're in that top 4, because a club like us, especially in our financial state, we can't afford a mistake, and we can't afford a season outside of the Champions League. Finally though, guys, I do indeed have to draw some attention to that moment on the bench, and I thought it was an absolutely brilliant shot there that it was of Riqui Puig and also Miralem Pjanic. And I think, to be honest, it says it all, not only about the 2 players individually, but also about the whole feeling right now and what may be going on inside that dressing room. Because what happened basically was in the 72nd minute there, Miralem Pjanic was getting ready to come on alongside Trincao to come on as a sub, but he didn't actually get to come on. He was told to sit back down, and he was actually told there to put his training shirt back on, and that he wouldn't be coming on right away. And it's just so interesting there that Riqui Puig sitting on the bench looking round at Pjanic, he can't help himself. There's a smile there, there's a look in his eye, there's a feeling on his face, almost like he's saying, I know how you feel. I know how it feels. Look at the situation we're in. Because they'll both feel as though they should have been playing more. I think Pjanic's look back to Riqui, he's got a bit of a smirk on his face too. They are both in the same situation. And you just wonder the kind of conversations that are going on there behind the scenes between the players. Has Koeman still got hold of this dressing room? Only time will tell. And the results to come, they'll determine that. So overall, guys, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Obviously, now we have done the match review. We've done some further analysis and some further discussion here in this video. It is a bit unusual for me, but like I say, there is a bit of frustration right now between us Barca fans. We are fans who certainly go through it, and we do have these moments week in, week out, but we do continue to fight, and we do continue to talk it out. So thank you indeed for joining me for today's video and for joining me right throughout the weekend. Barca are in action again on Tuesday. hopefully we can end before the little Christmas break with a win. Let's wait and see. And I will see you soon for all of that build-up. Thanks for your support. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.